Greetings, 'tis I. I've been away for a few weeks now. I've been up near Vetlanda with Louise's dad celebrating midsummer. We frolicked in the forest, we swam in the lakes, we feasted on nature's bounty, played some music, even got round to recording him and Louise performing a traditional summery Swedish classic, which I will link to up there, if such a thing might help cheer you through your day. I didn't get to go out on the bikes at all over that time, which is all good. And on the way back, we got the bus from Kristianstad back to Simrishamn. And the bus follows the main road most of the way. And the main road follows the main coastal cycle path in this area pretty closely. It was quite late in the day when we travelled it, but we still saw quite a few little gaggles of loaded up cyclists, bags and flags and adventure gear. And it got me to thinking about what it is that I look for in a bike route, what it is that draws me to multi-day bike rides. Så drick min vän, drick sol och doft, till dagen den är din. The main coastal cycle route is a beautiful route, don't get me wrong. It's lovely, it's well surfaced, it's well signposted, takes you through some really pretty little towns and villages, rolling hills, orchards, hay meadows. All the wildflowers are out, the grass is up, there's cows in the pastures, glittering glimpses of the sea off to the side all the time. It's really pretty. But at the same time, it's very exposed. Whatever weather you're riding in, you're going to be right in it if you follow the coast path. And it dallies within the boundaries of what I would call civilization. Now, quite a lot of it is on tarmac, and it's pretty quiet tarmac to be sure, but I mean at this time of year even the quiet tarmac has traffic on it along the coast. The parts that follow the main road, you're separated from the traffic, but it's very much there still. And again, at this time of year, the main road gets super busy. You know, lots of cars, lots of camper vans, lots of lorries, buses. So it's not peaceful. And for me, a huge part of the appeal of cycling, and especially doing long multi-day bike trips, is the peace, the tranquility, the solitude of it all. And if I was to pick a type of landscape to affiliate myself particularly with, it would be forests. You know, I'm a forest person, I think. I love being in forests, I love camping in forests, I love cycling through forests. And so for me, being in this part of the world, I think there might be options other than that coastal route. If you watched the last video, must be the last two videos, I can't really remember, you will have seen me talking about the idea of putting together a route in this area, and you may have guessed from the way that I put that idea across in those videos that I kind of came up with it literally as I was filming those videos. So I probably didn't explain it very well, and it wasn't a very well formulated idea or anything. But I've been thinking about it more recently, and I have come up with a more exact sort of plan or goal for what I want out of this project, and it is this. So technically, this route is going to start in Simrishamn because that's where I live, and because Simrishamn has a train station, which would make this route accessible to people from all over the southern part of Sweden and even into Denmark. I mean, it's pretty easy to get a bike to Simrishamn from Copenhagen on the train. And that seems like a cool feature of any bike route, I think. Practically though, it's not going to start until about 5 or 6 kilometers north of Simrishamn at Beskemøller, which is where it will branch off from that aforementioned coastal route and start heading inland. And from there, I want to put together something that keeps you in the forest where possible, that keeps you on gravel, single track if I can find it. The upper bound of sort of tolerance for what I won't allow is tarmac with a line down the middle. I think that's a good place to draw the line, no pun intended. If I find myself on that for more than about 500 meters, then I think it's time to go back and start tweaking the route to avoid that. So then, sticking with that philosophy, I'm just gonna push north as far as I can. Initially a day, 2 days at my sort of riding pace, maybe 150 kilometers, and then cut back out to the coast, and that will create a loop you can do from Simrishamn that sort of showcases the best of the coastal route but also gives you that inland experience, and it'll also add 150 kilometers of inland option for anyone doing a longer trip on that coastal route, which seems like a cool thing. And if it works, I can keep adding to it. I can keep pushing it north. I can keep adding nice spots, extending it, maybe add another inland leg so that there's a totally inland forest-based loop to do out of Simrishamn. It might not happen, you know, my plans don't always come together, but if it does, it'll be something for the world to remember me by. And if it doesn't, I'll find a load of lovely spots whilst doing the research, like this one. I'm at Gillebo at the lake here, which is definitely somewhere, if this route comes into existence and you decide to do it, you should stop for a swim. I stopped on the banks of this lake for a sandwich in a previous video a little while back, and then, as today, I'd forgotten my swimming shorts. But today is a scorcher, and there's a heat wave hitting Europe at the moment. Further south, people are probably dying. Up here in Sweden, it's not so bad, but it's still blazing. The water is beautifully warm. I'm wearing my padded shorts, and I don't really want to get them wet. So I'm going to use a piece of poem in defence of my next actions. This is by Roald Dahl, I believe. A young man, whilst visiting Bude, went to bathe on the beach in the nude. When they cried, "Dirty rat!" he just put on his hat and said, "Now I'm not nearly so rude." That was lovely. I am not a hardcore cold water swimmer at all. I'm very English about my water temperatures. That was like a bath. I could have stayed in there half an hour just drifting. Absolutely lovely. I'm feeling very refreshed. I managed to get out and dry it off without exposing myself to any members of the public, which is always nice. And that little stretch of single track along the side of the lake is great, through the beech trees, loads of little swimming spots, grill places, really lovely little piece of this route, hopefully. And now we're getting to a place where I have to do some exploring. So this bit of road here is a kind of loop that goes up into the forest round the back of the lake, and what I'm hoping is that there's a way to get through to the next patch of forest on the other side of, there's a main road up ahead, and there's nothing marked on the maps that I can see, but I know from recent exploration that doesn't necessarily mean there's nothing there. So we're going to ride this kind of loop round, see if there's anything unmarked which we can add to the maps, and if not, explore a couple of different options that we might have for getting over the road into the next patch of forest. Okay, this looks vaguely promising. I'm about where I would like to have found a road on this loop. It's heading in roughly the right direction. It's not marked on OpenStreetMap, so I have no idea where it goes. It looks fairly well used. Might just go to a turning circle, might go to a summer cottage, might turn into a tick-infested, rabid, elk-filled hellscape. But I'm going to follow it down, see what we find. Sadly denied. It's just ended in a little turning circle in the forest, and there's nothing pushing through that way, not even animal tracks. It's all really dense, newly planted pine Christmas trees, whatever they are. So, oh well, onwards. Found two more hopeful looking routes heading off in the right direction, but they both turned out to be false starts. This one, I think I'm clutching at straws thinking this might be a rideable path. It's machinery track at best, and it just disappears. So I think my dreams of a northwest passage have been shattered. And a very nice old wall though. But I think we're going to have to go round and look at a more conventional road route and hope it's not too tarmacy. Made it out to the main road, and it was definitely a main road, had a line down the middle and everything, but only had to follow it for 250 meters or so before it was back into the woods on gravel and out into uncharted territory. So that's the link into this next bit of forest. I've hooked round because I thought I'd spotted what may be an even better way that would just have you only having to cross the main road, but I followed it into the forest and it's ended after some very ticky, grassy, overhung sections. It's just ended here in this devastated old turning circle with no perceivable way through that doesn't mean hike a bike and carrying it over rivers and stuff, which is not what this route is supposed to be about. So I'm calling it a day. I know where to start the next search now, so that'll be fun. So for those of you who are annoyed with me just doing day rides, hopefully the next one will be an overnighter. I think the plan is to cycle out this far and a bit more, camp, and then push on a little bit the next day and loop back. So there should be some proper bike packing coming on this proper bike packing channel, finally. Yeah, I'm done. Beautiful day, sun is shining, hot and sweaty. Bish bash bosh. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment if you so desire. Imagine that I'm wearing one of my t-shirts. If you would like to help support the channel, there will be links in the description and hopefully below the video as well to my merch store, t-shirts, mugs, stickers, badges, all kinds of stuff. Please go and have a look if you fancy any of that. You can hit the thanks button, you can visit my Ko-fi page. All of these people here, these are the cool, clear pools of water into which I dip my sweaty toes of life. Ugh, now that doesn't sound very nice. Sorry about that, people. These people are my monthly supporters, and they keep this whole thing ticking over, so thank you all very much. You can join them on the Ko-fi page, get a free set of stickers, early access to the videos. I mean, yeah, usual waffly ending. Hopefully you enjoy this one. See you all on the next one. Bye now.